Dividing polynomials today. Yesterday, we did multiplying polynomials, which was a lot like distributing, multiplying with coefficients, multiplying with variables. Today is dividing. Now, there are two ways to divide. I will be honest, it is a long, lengthy process in a sense. If you can think of division as the inverse of multiplication, it makes today a lot easier. If you want to think of it as strictly dividing, you're going to struggle today. Now, what I mean when I say that is, for example, if I have the number, 12 divided by 4. Well, we all understand that is 3. Okay? But today, I want you to think of, instead of 12 divided by 4 equals 3, I want you to think of 4 times what is 12. Now, either way, we understand that. Either way, you understand that's going to be the same thing. Okay? But today, having you understand that division is the same thing as inverse multiplication will help you tremendously. Because we're going to do division, and dividing is going to be a lot like our 5th grade division. Remember when you did, long division, 912 divided by 4? And before you had calculators, and you're like, 4 goes into 9, how many times, right? 2 times, and you multiply back and subtract 8. Remember doing all that stuff? We're going to do the same work today.
Bring the 2 down until the next step.
Yeah. I always bring it down all the same. Always bring it down all the same.
No, you don't.
Oh, yeah.
No.
He's the algebra professor.
Always bring it down the same. Anyways, the only difference is today we're going to do them with polynomials. So here's what the first example, synthetic division is one way to do it then too. Synthetic division is a kind of a shortcut way. As it says, it's a shorthand method of dividing by a linear binomial. You can only divide it when you have a linear x there. Okay? By writing only the coefficients. So it's a way to divide using only the coefficients. Kind of a unique way. It's a shorter method for people who don't like variables. Okay? It's not like almost all day long, all students have really liked long division. They just want to do it that way. If that's the way you want to do when we go to synthetic method, just keep practicing long division. You'll be fine. Okay? Long division. Here's what it looks like. We are dividing, taking 6x squared plus x plus 8 divided by 2x minus 1. Now, if you can remember, back in 5th grade, you do the whole, hey, what goes inside the house? What goes outside the house, right? You do all those things. Same things here are true. Okay? 6x squared plus x plus 8 would go what is called inside your house. And then the 2x minus 1 would be on the outside. Now, when I'm dividing here, I'm going to divide by the first term. So I'm going to divide everything by the 2x. Now, here's what I mean when I say think of this as inverse multiplication. I have 2x and I have 6x squared. Now, I'm going to ask the question, how many times is 2x going to 6x squared? Really, what we're thinking is 2x times what is 6x squared? So, 3x. We're taking an x out, so if I have x squared, I'm left with 1x, x to the first. Okay? That process all day long we've done pretty well on. It's the second thing. You need to divide first, and then you multiply back. So taking the 3x times the 2x, the 3x times the 1, multiplying back. And then you subtract. So I subtract, change the signs. And then you bring everything else down. Now right now you're like, that is very long, very lengthy, very complicated. It is kind of long, a little bit lengthier. It's not that bad once you get in the process of actually dividing it out. Just like anything, you need repetition, you need practice. Give some practice today. Okay, let's try one out here together. And again, I'm going to do a lot of this work. If you have questions while we're going along, ask them then. Don't wait till all the way at the end and ask questions. Okay, so I'm going to divide here. Yes, sir. I am.
I didn't see you hit a button on there.
It's on mine. So. So, I'm going to divide here. Long division. X squared plus 3x minus 12 divided by x minus 3. We all good there so far. First part goes inside, second part goes outside. Now here again, this is where some of us start thinking, this is going to be my dividing term. I'm going to divide everything by x. Okay? So I'm thinking x goes into x squared how many times? Now, a lot of you are like once, or a lot of you are like twice. Wrong. We got to think inverse multiplication. X times what is x squared? X. So x goes into x squared x times. Again, that's where the brain has to kind of switch our function. I agree, I understand what you're saying. You say, 1 and 2 times, but we got to think inverse multiplication. X times what is x squared? That's where we get it. And then I multiply back. So x times x times negative 3. I'm multiplying back. And that gets me x squared minus 3x. Again, I multiplied here and multiplied there. Does everybody see that? Now I subtract. So I changed both the signs. I need to subtract because I divided it out. So I changed both of these signs. Some students say we're just changing the first and forgetting about the second. I changed both. 3x plus 3x is 6x. Sorry, this cancels. And I bring down the negative 12. Next part, I divide again. I take x. X goes into 6x how many times?
6 times.
6 times. Again, think inverse multiplication. X times what is 6x? 6. So I say plus 6. And then I multiply back. So 6 times x, 6 times negative 3. I get 6x minus 18. And then I change the signs. Cancels. Negative 12 plus 18 is 6. Now here's where we have to use our thought process. Can x go into 6?
Negative.
No negatives. So this would be like in 5th grade terms, this is our remainder. Do you remember doing remainders? All right. Do you remember using remainders? This would be what would be called our remainder. So instead of saying, remainder of 6, we're going to say plus 6 over x minus 3. And we say x minus 3 because that's what we were dividing by. So you take your remainder over what you were, you take your remainder under, or over, what you're dividing by. It's a lot of work. It's a little bit lengthier. Okay? Just have the understanding that think of inverse multiplication. Again, you need repetitions and practice on these things. Let's try another one. I'm going to do another one through here with you. Maybe. Number 2. What's going to go on the inside, Gabby? Good. X squared plus 2x minus 30. What's going to go on the outside, Petey?
X minus 5.
Good. Now, which one is my divisor, or my part I'm going to divide by, Emily? Just the x, actually. I'm going to divide by just the x. It's okay. That's my dividing term. So I think of this as x goes into x squared how many times? And again, don't think of it that way. Think of it as inverse multiplication, and we get x. Nice job, guys. And then I multiply back. X times x, x times 5. I get x squared minus 5x. And then, gosh, you guys, too smart. 2x plus 5x is? And I bring down the negative 30. Then I do the next part. X goes into 7x. 7 times. And I? Oops. So I get 7x minus 35. And then I? Negative 30 and 35 gets me? 5. That is now my? So x plus 7 plus
5 over x minus 5.
What's up?
5 and minus 5 cancel out.
No, they would not, because it's x minus 5 as your divisor. And if it was just 5, yes, they could, but it's x minus 5, so they would not. That's a quantity. Good question. Number 3. Let's try another one here. You guys are doing probably as better as any of my classes yet so far today, so that's great.
Yes, Corby's going.
Corby, what do we got on the inside?
X squared plus 6x plus 8.
Nice job. And on the outside, Gavin, x plus 4. Great.
Yes, not more.
What's my divising term here? The x?
Yeah.
So x goes into x squared how many times, Petey?
X.
X times. You guys got the hang of this already. And then I multiply back. X squared plus 4x. And then I...
Switch the signs.
Now it's tougher on something like this because that is a positive for x, so you change it to a negative. So make sure you understand that. So that would be a 2x. And then I bring down plus 8. X goes into 2x. And then I... But what happens here?
No remainder.
No remainder. It comes out evenly. So my answer here is... Nice job.
We should go to the math Olympics.
Super impressed.
Just stop right here.
Try number 4 on your own. Try number 4 on your own.
I like math.
Why does it say
All right, I'm going to slowly start walking through some of these. Keep working if you are, though. Now, if anybody's here and you get stuck already, x goes into negative x squared how many times? Negative x times. Nice job. Just bring that negative up. Think of it. X goes into x squared, x times x. So it's negative x times. And then you multiply back. Keep going from there. Good work. And there would be your final answer. Is that what you got, Wish? Uh-oh. Did I make a mistake?
No, I'm not confused.
That's what I got.
I totally did it.
Do you have that, Buckley?
Yeah.
Or Corby? Where did you make a mistake at, Wish?
I don't know.
All right, next one here, number 5. Because you're a hunter.
Of all people.
Because you're a hunter. Waiters, when it gets thick. All right, take a couple seconds to try number 5 as well. Same type of work. Okay, try number 5. So we're here, right? You there, right, Jane? X goes into 2x squared. Jane? 2x times, right? Sorry, 2x. I multiply back. 2x squared minus 16x. And then I change the signs.
That's what I did.
Oh, I did that wrong.
You see that now?
I see what I did.
Bingo. Remember real good.
I'm sorry. My final answer here would be 2x minus 3. Got it, I wish?
Okay, that one was a lot easier to play.
Times one's just the other way around.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, the other way you can divide is synthetic division. If you're like, I don't want to learn another way, I just want to do long division, do these next problems, long division ways, and just get some practice then. Get some more practice for it. I will show those who would like to know synthetic division that way. Just throw it out there. Okay. But synthetic division uses all the coefficients. Okay, and again, there's just two different ways they can divide. If you want to do long division every problem, you will never be wrong. Don't worry, you'll never be wrong with long division. Synthetic division takes all the coefficients. Now, I know the basket is in the way here. But that says 2x squared minus x minus 10. I take the 2, my coefficients, so 2, negative 1, and negative 10. I bring them over. I take what I'm dividing by, and I want to use the opposite there. Okay, because it's the a there. It's the part that's in there. So it says minus 3. I take the positive 3. And what happens here is you bring the first coefficient down, and then you multiply and bring up. So 3 times 2 is 6. And you add down, and then you multiply and bring up. All right? I'll show you with the first one. Again, if you want to just use long division, do long division on this and work it out and see if you get the same answer. But I'll show you how to do this. Okay, so x plus 1, we're dividing by x plus 1. So I want to think opposite here. So inside the box, I'm going to put a negative 1. Okay. From there, I'm going to bring down my coefficients. So I have a 3, a negative 4, a 2, and a negative 1. I'm going to put a line here so I have some room. Now it always starts off with you bring your first one down. So that's going to be 3. And then I multiply. Negative 1 times 3 is negative 3. And then I add down. Negative 7. Negative 1 times negative 7 is 7. And I add down. Negative 1 times 9 is negative 9. And I add down. So now I have the coefficients of my answer. Now think about this here. If I'm starting with x cubed and I'm dividing by an x, does everybody agree I'm taking an x out of everything essentially?
Yeah.
So instead of x cubed, I'm going to start with x squared minus 7x plus 9, negative 10, remainder x plus 1.
Oh, I did not get that whatsoever.
There's the answer right there.
So much easier.
That's ridiculous.
It can work. It's a lot quicker. It doesn't deal with the variables.
That's so much more.
But if you're a person that's like, whoo, I really like long division, use long division. This will work too.
I hate long.
So I'll do this then. I can. I'll do another one like this.
You're not gonna hold that against me for the rest of my life.
Number 7. Okay, I need to find my divisor here. And again, I'm using coefficients. So I think opposite here. What's the opposite of a positive 1? It's a negative 1. I bring my coefficients down. The coefficient in front of x cubed is 1, 4, 1.
I put actually, you know what I'm talking about.
No, but maybe. Negative 6. Does everybody go through where I got the coefficients?
Yeah.
Now the first step, again, a lot of people like to mess up in the first step because they're like, well, it can't be that easy. No, first one, you bring it straight down. I get 1. And then I multiply and I get negative 1. Because I multiply here, Turner.
Oh.
And then I get 3. And I multiply, getting me negative 3. Which gets me negative 2. And then I multiply, getting me 2. Right? And now I get negative 4. Then I added my variables. If I started with x cubed, that means I'm really going to start down here with x squared plus 3x minus 2. If I have something here, that's my remainder. That's synthetic division. So using just the coefficient. What?
That's a whole lot easier.
Can be. It can be.
Wait.
That kind of-
Oh boy.
Is a lot better.
Okay. Number 8 here. Try number 8 on your own. Okay, if you want to use synthetic division, use synthetic division. If you want to use long division, use long division. It's up to you, but try it on your own.
Sorry, crush.
Wait, would you switch them? 3 to negative?
No, because it shows negative here.
Alright.
So I do the opposite there. There would be your final answer right there. 5x squared plus 9x plus 31 plus 92 over x minus 3. Did you get that, Troy?
Yeah.
Nice job, man. Again, synthetic division can work if you have a linear term here. Can work. You can divide. Okay. We're going to try one more because there's one part I want to show you in this next one. And it's a very important part that will come up on a test. I will guarantee it. Okay. So the next one here, number 9. No matter which way you do, does not matter if you want to do long division or synthetic division. Take note right here in the middle. What do you see? What am I going from? X cubed to an x. I need the placeholder of the x squared. So I would rewrite this as x cubed plus 0 x squared, because if you multiply by 0, it's still not there. So I'm multiplying it by 0 minus 13x plus 12. And again, I will guarantee you will see that problem again. Just to check to make sure you put the placeholder of the 0 in there. You need all of the exponents so you divide. You need those placeholders. And then again, if you did long division, synthetic, it doesn't matter. You would need that placeholder of 0. Yes, sir?
Why can't it be like the imaginary one from the...
Because then it does exist there. 0 means I can take it out.
Oh, okay.
Good question. So I would put in my box here, if I were to go synthetic, I would have negative 4 now. I would have 1, 0, negative 13, and 12. Those would be the coefficients for synthetic. If you did long division, you just do the same thing, just put 0x squared in there. So I bring down the 1, multiply, negative 4. Multiply, I get 16. 3, 3, get negative 12. If I end up with a 0 out there, what does that mean? No remainder. Nice job, man. And then I fill in my x's. If I start with x cubed, my answer is going to start with x squared minus 4x plus 3. That'd be my answer right there. All right, nice job. Again, on your assignment today, you can use either method, long division, synthetic method. It's okay. Here is your assignment.